Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in Shahid Chamran University of Ahvaz. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there with you and have this presentation face to face, but thanks to Amix Group, I have this opportunity to have my presentation via video conference. Today, I will present you our project, which was about the kinetic characterization of malate dehydrogenase in normal and malignant human breast tissues. High aerobic glycolysis is one of the most important features of cancer cells that known as the Barber effect. The bioenergetics and metabolic characteristics does not only permit cancer cells to survive under adverse tumor conditions such as hypoxia, but also enable them to proliferate and invade and subsequently stand metastasis. The control point of glycolysis in glyceraldehyde P dehydrogenase that requires NAD in the glycolytic direction. Cancer cells provide essential NAD via lactate dehydrogenase that converts pyruvate to lactate with concomitant regeneration of NAD. The reaction is prominent in cancer cells and the gene expression and activity of lactate dehydrogenase in higher in various kinds of tumors according to some reference and papers. The control point of glycolysis in glyceraldehyde P dehydrogenase that requires NAD in the glycolytic direction. Cancer cells provide essential NAD via lactate dehydrogenase that converts pyruvate to lactate with concomitant regeneration of NAD. This reaction is prominent in cancer cells. The gene expression and activity of lactate dehydrogenase is higher in various kinds of tumors. There is another approach that may be supply required NAD for glycolysis, and that is malate dehydrogenase. Malate dehydrogenase, as part of malate aspartate shuttle, catalyzes the reversible reaction of oxaloacetate to malate in the presence of NADH. The enzyme has two distinct forms, one is mitochondrial and the other one is cytosolic. Cytosolic isoform is involved in oxidation of NADH to NAD that could be another pool of NAD for continuing glycolysis progression. The aim of the current study was to compare the kinetic parameters of malate dehydrogenase within breast cancer and normal mammary tissues by considering two important points: the potential role of malate dehydrogenase in supplying NAD and a stressful tumor microenvironment that involves the enzymes, because the enzyme function and kinetic can be strongly influenced by the composition of the intercellular milieu in which the enzyme operates. Human breast tumor samples were obtained from Apadana Hospital in Ahvaz in Iran during the mastectomy. Normal tissues away from the tumor were included as controls. Two independent expert pathologists from pathology laboratory of Apadana Hospital carried out the pathological tumor tissue examination. Samples were immediately preserved in liquid nitrogen, transported to the laboratory and stored at -80 centigrade degree. The study was approved by the Ethics Committee from John Chopur Medical University of Ahvaz and conducted according to the Guide for Human Study by National Academy of Science. And informed consent was obtained, of course, from all patients involved in this study. Frozen tumors and normal tissue were homogenized in ice homogenization buffer, and a few crystals of PMSF were added at the time of homogenization. Samples were homogenized using a microhomogenizer and centrifuged for 30 minutes at 15,004 at 4 centigrade degree, and the supernatant was decanted and held on ice until use. Low molecular weight metabolites and ions were removed from the supernatant by Cefadex G25 columns, which was equilibrated in homogenizing buffer. Malate dehydrogenase activity was measured in the presence of oxaloacetate with NADH as substrate for forward reaction and malate with NAD as substrate for reverse reaction. The lowest concentration of each substrate which showed maximum velocity, constant rate of product formation, and linear regression of activities for serial dilution of enzymes, was assigned as optimum substrate concentration. Reactions were initiated by adding 10 microliters of purified enzyme to a 200 microliter total reaction volume by using 20 millimolar 3-HCl buffer with pH of 8 in the microplate well. Activity was monitored at 340 for checking the conversion of NADH to NAD or vice versa by using a Biotic Power Wave microplate reader and Gen5 software version 2. And the reading intervals were 39 seconds. Data were analyzed using microplate analysis, MPA, and Kinetic programs 3.51. Kinetic's program 3.51 feed data to a nonlinear least squares regression for determination of Km and Vmax values. Given the possible existence of endogenous NADH to NAD in conversion in partial purified samples, we surveyed the NADH to NAD in conversion in each sample to eliminate the possible existence of its effects. This conversion was determined by adding the NADH from 0.5 to 1 millimolar or NAD from 3 to 5 millimolar in blue sapphires purified samples and monitoring the absorbance changing at 340 nanometer. The Km of oxaloacetate was determined at 0.5 millimolar NADH and oxaloacetate concentration ranging from 0.05 millimolar to 1.75 millimolar. The Km of NADH was determined at 1.5 millimolar oxaloacetate and NADH concentration ranging from 0.5 to 0.95 millimolar in both tissues. The Km malate was determined at 2.5 millimolar NAD and malate concentration ranging from 0.25 to 32 millimolar. The Km of NAD was determined at 24 millimolar malate and NAD concentration ranging from 0.1 to 3.1 millimolar in both tissues. The Km and Vmax were calculated from the mean of 3 separate series of determination. Total protein content was measured using Bradford method and bovine serum albumin as a standard. Data were expressed as mean with deviation of SEM from independent determination on separate preparation of enzyme. The optimum assay condition for malate dehydrogenase in forward reaction were 1.5 millimolar oxaloacetate and 0.5 millimolar NADH in both tumors and normal tissues. In the reverse reaction, optimum conditions were 24 millimolar malate and 2 millimolar NAD. It should be noted that there is not any NADH to NAD conversion activity or vice versa in crude extract samples. The maximum activity of cancerous malate dehydrogenase for malate formation was about 2-fold higher than the values in normal tissues. And as you see in this table, you can see the Vmax of oxaloacetate and the Vmax of NADH in tumors and normal tissues. In this slide, you can see the Km of malate in tumor tissues were 3.13 and millimolar, and normal was 1.6 millimolar, and Km of NAD was 0.63 and in normal was 0.43, and the Km of malate was 78 in tumor and 75 in normal, and Vmax of NAD was 110 in tumor and 102 in normal. The maximum activity of malate dehydrogenase in respect to malate and NAD were not significantly different between normal and cancerous tissues. The Km malate of normal malate dehydrogenase was significantly higher than of cancerous malate dehydrogenase. The Km of NAD was significantly lower in normal tissues than that in tumor tissues. Enzymes were regulated by two different processes. One is change in the total amount of enzyme presence, that is changing in Vmax, and the other one is changes in one or more kinetic constants like Km or Vmax. These processes and enzyme stability can be strongly influenced by the composition of the intracellular milieu in which the enzyme operates. Given the different tumor microenvironment conditioning compared to normal tissue, the enzyme function may be different between normal tissues and tumors. Our data supported the idea and showed the kinetic of malate dehydrogenase as one of the important enzymes in metabolism has distinct feature in tumors. It can be assumed that the maximum activity we measured was due primarily to cytosolic fraction because the highest concentration of oxaloacetate was used in the assay method is well above that known to inhibit the activity of mitochondrial fraction. Also, to prove our sample were free of mitochondrial enzyme form, the supernatant was made from a specimen were checked for NADH oxidase activity as a mitochondrial marker and the interruption of the dehydrogenase. The results showed there was no any NADH oxidase activity. Therefore, the supernatant could be judged free of mitochondrial particles. At last, the speed of centrifuge we used in this method was similar to the other study that could separate the mitochondrial particles in the pellet and not in the supernatant. According to our result, the required NAD for continuous flow of glycolysis could be supplied by malate dehydrogenase activity in addition to eliminate lactate dehydrogenase. One of the most requirements for developing the Barber effect is NAD replacement. Lactate dehydrogenase expression and activity supplies essential NAD. However, our results show there is another possible approach for it, and it could be the malate dehydrogenase. In recent years, some studies have done in order to eliminate the lactate dehydrogenase activity and expression to delete its effect on supporting glycolysis pathway by considering the probability role of malate dehydrogenase associated to glycolysis. Removing of malate dehydrogenase activity and expression besides to lactate dehydrogenase should be considered in order to have glycolysis pathway. Higher activity of malate dehydrogenase in tumor indicate that there is another NAD supplier for glycolysis pathway except to lactate dehydrogenase. The probability role of malate dehydrogenase associated to glycolysis, removing of malate dehydrogenase activity and expression besides should be considered when lactate dehydrogenase was inhibited as a therapeutic target. In the reverse reaction, Km of malate in tumor was higher than normal tissues. In other means, affinity of malate dehydrogenase for malate is lower in tumors. The role of malate in cells metabolism could be account for lower affinity of malate in tumors. High Km of malate in reverse reaction showed cancer cells do not prefer to change malate to oxaloacetate and consume NAD. They want to maintain NAD in order to supply required energy for glycolysis. According to our result, low affinity of malate dehydrogenase for malate may also increase the pool of malate in cytosol. This malate could convert to pyruvate by malic enzyme and subsequently to lactate by lactate dehydrogenase. Thus, it could be a source of lactate production in cancer cells to supply NAD. This interpretation about the fate of malate in cancer cells is highly probable because the malic enzyme and lactate dehydrogenase activity and expression are high in tumors. According to our result, therefore, malate dehydrogenase in reverse reaction by maintaining malate could have indirect role to provide abundant NAD for supplying glycolysis rate. Higher Km malate in tumor malate dehydrogenase showed that tumor malate dehydrogenase is less inhibited by high concentration of malate and it could tolerate more malate levels. This feature of tumor malate dehydrogenase may reflect high concentration of malate in the tumor microenvironments. The future survey could be we have some suggestion for that. Different kinetic characterization of malate dehydrogenase in tumor may be useful tool for diagnostic purpose and should be surveyed in more number of patients with metastatic or non-metastatic to elucidate probability of coloration with metastatic. And inhibition of cytosolic malate dehydrogenase could be a therapeutic target in cancer patients besides malate dehydrogenase inhibition. Thank you very much for your patient listening. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me via this email address. I send you lots of love and peace from Iran. Thank you. Hi, my name is Mahshid Ansari. I recently finished my Doctor of Veterinary Medicine in Shahid Chamran University of Ahvaz. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there with you and have this presentation face-to-face, but thanks to Amix Group, I have this opportunity to have my presentation via video conference. Today, I will present you...
Oh, just coming again.
Right, well, so, I don't know what we do now.
There is the last one.
Have you got any questions? Anybody? I don't know what you...
Our project, which was about the kinetic character, at 4